Hello all and welcome to the session. So in this video we will learn how to draw a class diagram for a software system and software development. So what is class diagram? So class diagram is nothing but the set of classes, interfaces, collaborations and their relationships. So this class diagram contains classes, interfaces, collaboration, combination of one or more classes or interfaces and their relationships. So you all know that the types of relationships, right? Generalization, dependency, association, realization, correct? So these are the things which present in the class diagram. So how to draw a class diagram? So it is basically a graphical representation. So what is diagram? A pictorial representation of a particular system. So that pictorial representation of a system should be in a static view, and these are all the following points should be considered or remembered while drawing a class diagram. First is the name of the class diagram should be meaningful. So for example, library management system, hotel management system, hostel management system, these are all the class diagram names, for instance. So that name, the user who specifies the class diagram, though, so that name should be in a meaningful. And second is each element and their relationship should be identified in advance. So what are all the elements and their relationships should be specified in the diagram, those should be in advance, specified in advance. And third is attributes and methods of each class. So what are all the attributes and the methods of each class which is in the class diagram should be clearly identified. And fourth is for each class there should be a minimum number of properties. So here if there are unnecessary properties, this will make the diagram complicated, that is complex. And if at all there are unnecessary methods, those methods will become redundant, that is duplicate. And fifth, use notes means here whenever the user required to describe some aspect of the diagram, means I told you that note contains what? Comments, description, some remarks, correct? So it should be understandable to the developer or coder or user. And sixth is before making the final decision of drawing the diagram, so the user should reanalyze it and rework on it as many as times as possible until and unless it is correct. So this is the simple class diagram. So class diagram name is shape, and this is the classes 1 2 3 4 classes, and this is the interface. So what is class diagram? Class diagram contains classes, interface, collaborations and their relationships. So in this class diagram, this is the relationship. In this simple class diagram, this is the relationship. This type of relationship is generalization. Generalization means inheritance. So inheriting the properties of superclass to subclass, that is parent class to child class. So here rectangle, circle, polygons are the classes which are child classes, that is leaf classes. Leaf classes, and this is the parent class. So parent class contains class name, attributes and the operation. So same attributes, operations are inherited. So rectangle, this shape can be a rectangle shape, circle and polygon. So here this is the interface. So interface square, here rectangle can be a square, right? So the circle cannot be a square. So this is the interface which is inheriting from the rectangle, and this is the leaf classes. So I told that class diagram contains classes, that is attributes and operations. Class contains class name, attributes and operations. First we'll go for this compartment, that is attributes, that is data members. So this data members contain some data types, that is this is first is primitive data types and abstract data types. Primitive data types are int, string, char, float, and abstract data types are like booking. This booking is also a type, apart from the library classes in Java, you have like string builder data type. And here the second piece of information we have to denote in our class diagram about data members is attributes, correct. So here the attributes what we specify, it can be a access specifiers or modifiers. So access specifiers means it can be a public or private or protected or package, and the modifiers static, read only, unique or open and close square braces. So first access specifier is private. So under private, so this is the class name member, and these are all the attributes: name, email, address, starting date. So name data type is string, for email string, so for address. So here the difference is where we are using address, right? So address will be a class which can write separately in some other programming languages. So address can be a class. So here see the access specifier is minus symbol, so this indicates that the attributes, that is name, email, address, starting date, are in private state. Private state means if you make your data members, that is attributes, as private, they can only accessed by that class, that is within the class. So again here see the date, starting date means date. Why it is at data type is date? So date is a class in most of the object oriented languages like in Java and C sharp or ash. So this is the thing, when we make the members, that is data members, as private, so the properties of the member, these attributes, can be accessed within this class. And when we make them as public, see public symbol is plus. For example, I have taken only one, that is start date. I'm specifying it plus, that is public. When you make the data members as public, so then those data members can be accessed from within the class, outside the class, and from anywhere. So next is protected. So for private we specified minus symbol, for public we specified plus symbol, for protected we will specify in ash, that is ash. Here I specified, for instance I specified start date as plus, then this start date method, the attribute, became public. So now here I will specify the start date as protected. So when we declare this certain data member as protected, so that data member can be accessed within this class, only within this class and the child classes of this class, not the other classes, only this class and only child classes, not other classes. So minus symbol is for private, plus is for public, and ash is for protected. So this one is for package. When we declare certain data members as of type package, so this member can be accessed within this class and by all the classes in the same package. So when we specify the data member as package, so the user can access only within this class and the classes which is present in the particular package. So I told you this is the symbol of package. This package contains some elements or classes of structural and behavioral things. So the user can access this type of member, that is member count, how many members, this keeps the count of members. So this is the attribute, that is member count. This is specified as package. So here the user can access only within this class and all the classes which is in the package. So we discussed the access specifiers, and now is modifiers. So under modifiers we have static, read only, and square braces. So first one is static. So to denote a static data member, we have to underline it. So here see package member count. So same example I have taken here. Member count, which is in a private access specifier, so I have underlined it. So this specifies that this type of data member, that is attribute, is static. So here the value of this data member, that is attribute, won't change. So this becomes your class level data member. That means all the objects of this member class will share a single copy of this member count data member. The member count attribute, which are all in the class child classes packages, so those all the data members, that is attributes, share the only copy of this member count, which is underlined, that is static. Next is read only. The name itself tells that a particular data member which is specified as read only, it tells that it is constant. So what are all the data members initialized once when you create a new object, so their value is set. So if you there you can't change any value of this data members. So once you specified this particular start date, which is in a private access specifier, so read only, so this becomes constant, so these values cannot change. So next comes square open braces and close braces. So every member can bring with him or her a certain number of visitors. So here member, so he can bring as many as members to join a company or any court or tennis court, tennis complex. So here, so this data member, that is visitors, so this here member can bring the visitors, a n number of visitors to the tennis complex to watch the tennis match. So here, so this data member which can store the multiple values. See, if I present star here, if I give star here, string is a data type, and so this tells that it stores some multiple values. So visitors may be more than 100, 200, correct? So if we have to denote it as square using an array notation, we have to denote it as array notation. In that we have to specify stub. So in case there is a limit of visitors like 5, so here if you want to limit the size of this array, then you can also specify the limit inside the square bracket. So member visitors string 3, so this tells that there are only 3 visitors. So here star tells that there are n number of visitors. So till here we discussed about the data members, that is attributes, which is present in the class diagram. That is first compartment, second compartment. First compartment is class name, second compartment is attributes, and third compartment is member functions or operations. So the first member function that we going to write in a class diagram is constructor. So what is constructor? It is used to create the instance of class. So here constructor has its name and is same as class name, so it has no return type. So here, so first thing we write is constructor in the second compartment. So this is basically same as that your class name. So constructor name is same as our class name. So this is the first compartment, that is class name. Second compartment is member functions, that member data members, that is attributes, and third compartment is our member functions, that is operations we perform. So first is constructor. Member constructor name and class name is same, so passing the parameters. N means name, string, email, string, starting date is date, so no return type, and plus show private, public, and private. So show details, this shows only the details of the member, and it doesn't return any value, that is void. It doesn't have any So this doesn't returns any value, so that is void. So next is get member count. So see here, it is underlined. It shows that this member count date attribute here in the data member method compartment, it is static, and here same, it should be accessed as static data member. So even this is underlined. So get member count method, it gets all the counts of the members, so it returns the return value is int, return type is int. So next is plus change new string boolean. So if at all the user wants to change his email, that is true or false, that is yes or no, new string boolean. And here we will not require any parameters for the methods, and it will not return anything, so we will write the return type as void. So this method doesn't return any value, right? Void. So we no need to write any return type. And next, how to